No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
That is right. Joe Biden is going to beat Joe Biden. Welcome to Weekend Logic. I'm your host, the Professor Shane Curington, and there again, no one's in the studio with me, so I get to do whatever I want. Listen to us stream live at logicnation.us, and we're also on social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, and Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Also, if you want to call in and talk with me and get in on the conversation, 866-895-6442 to do that. We talk about, stuff that's gone on in the week and what's going to come up in the next week. And of course, Joe Biden leads off the the news because of what he said while being interviewed. If you have to think to choose between me and Trump, you ain't black. I don't know about you, but oh my gosh, did the left just, first of all, the black community has gone absolutely bonkers over it, but the left is trying to defend him, which, in my summation of this is Joe Biden needs to stop talking. If he wants any shot at beating Trump, he's going to have to be quiet. And what he said in I can't believe he said that. I will beat Joe Biden. So yeah, basically Joe Biden is who's going to beat Joe Biden. Even though I don't think he has a chance, in this world of beating Trump. I think he's going to have an even harder time if he doesn't shut his mouth. That is the big deal with Joe Biden, is he just seems like he can't shut his mouth. So here's his comments on the interview from this week. Take a listen.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Okay, let me play that again just for you guys who didn't hear that.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Wow. What does that say about Joe Biden? Oh, my gosh. Well, that was the big news with Biden this week, but here's what his excuse is. And yeah, this is just a big excuse. It's nothing more than that, because how in the world do you explain this away? How do you explain that comment? I don't think you can. But here's what his excuse is. I shouldn't have been so cavalier All right, and this is Biden in an afternoon phone call with the U.S. Black Chamber. I think it's the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce. I shouldn't have been so cavalier. I shouldn't have been such a wise guy. No one should have to vote for any party based on their race or religion or background. Okay. Wow. So in Trump's response, okay, well, this isn't Trump. Trump's senior advisor, Katrina Pearson, says, and she's referring to Biden here, he truly believes that he, a 77-year-old white man, should dictate how black people should behave. Wow. That's, and I don't know what to say about this. I mean, when I first heard this and I first listened to that clip, I was flabbergasted. All right, and here's why I'm flabbergasted. All right, and we'll listen to Al Sharpton after the break in segment 2. I'll play you what Al Sharpton had to say about this whole thing. But here's I guess what my problem is with all of this, okay? We should not be a white America, a black America, a Hispanic America, a blue with purple polka dot America, a red with yellow stripes America. We shouldn't be any of that. We should just be America and American citizens. Okay. Now, granted, if you're an illegal here, you're not a part of this. Okay. If you want to be a part of this, you need to go through the legal channels of citizenship and become a citizen here. All right. But for those of us that are citizens, there shouldn't be a white America, a black America, a Hispanic America, a Asian America. There shouldn't be any of that. We should not segment our population like that. Because I don't know about you guys in the listening audience, but I love all Americans. If you're here legally, you're an American citizen. All right? And you're part of this whole experiment that was America. If you're striving to be here legally through the proper channels, not just, crossing the border or being smuggled or something like that, congratulations. We will welcome you with open arms. But I don't think that we should be segmenting ourselves, black America, white America, whatever America. I don't think so. We are all Americans and we are all in this together. Notice how, this pandemic, it does not care if you're white, black, brown, purple polka dots, pink with red stripes. It doesn't matter what you are. It will kill you just the same. And in my opinion, that's how we should be as Americans. We should not care what the color of your skin is. And I'm sorry, yes, Al Sharpton's an American, but he needs to shut up. And that's just my own personal opinion. He just needs to shut up because he is part of the problem. And, we shouldn't be segmenting Americans based on the color of their skin or their ethnicity or anything else. But we'll talk about this more. We'll talk about Joe Biden, Al Sharpton, what he has to say, and the NAACP is pushing back on Biden. We'll talk about all that when we come back for the second segment. 866-895-6442 is the number to call. Stream us live on logicnation.us. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stick around.
Divorce attorney Ed Laughlin.
Is your marriage on the rocks? Have you been wanting to get a divorce but just haven't found an attorney that you can afford? Well, your search for an affordable attorney is finally over. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and I've been helping Texans get fast, inexpensive, hassle-free divorces for 25 years. I offer reasonable fees and always allow my clients to pay out their fees in payments that they can afford. Call me today at 773-8399 or toll-free 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment to get started. The first visit is always free.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed Laughlin today at 1-800-492-2589 or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589 or online at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589. Let Ed help you with all your legal needs. You'll feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in Names and Numbers.
Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Petros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
Hey y'all, Jeff Foxworthy here. Now, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing over and over for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
That's why I'm filling in for Smokey to switch things up, because there's a lot more to say. And I should know because my grandfather was a firefighter. And one of the things he taught me is that the people that love the outdoors the most are often the ones accidentally starting wildfires, which means always BYOB. No, bring your own bucket to the campfire. And be extra careful with things like burning yard trimmings. Don't just walk away, or chances are you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have anybody to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
And welcome back to Weekend Logic. I'm your host, the Professor Shane Curington. Stream us live at logicnation.us along with our social media channels, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. And if you want to get in on the conversation with me, you can give me a call. 866-895-6442 is the number to call. All right, let's go to the phones. Bill, you there?
I am indeed. Good morning, Shane. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right. How you doing, man?
Well, because suddenly I find myself conflicted.
Okay. Of what?
Yep. I thought I knew who I was going to vote for president.
Okay.
And now It's really gotten all muddled up.
Oh, really?
There's not a politically correct way to describe me.
Yeah.
Let me just use old man terminology and say I am a half breed.
Okay.
So do I vote for Trump?
So are you telling me you are actually considering voting for Biden?
Well, maybe, but then he said, "Look, if you don't want to vote for me, vote for the other Biden." And I thought, Jesus, how many Bidens are running?
Well, his wife might be running. For all we know, it seems
his
like
wife is running. His wife is running Joe.
Yeah, exactly. According to that interview. Now, I just cut out the part where Joe Biden was talking about, you ain't black, but prior to this part, he was talking about that his wife had to do something at 6, so he had to be out of there by then. So yeah, I think his wife runs the show actually.
Oh God, it sure seems like it. I've noticed. I saw an interview from the two of them at home, and the first one, Joe was just muddled, and in the second one, the interviewer would ask Biden a question. I'm sorry, Vice President Biden a question, and for him while he nodded in agreement.
Oh, really?
And I thought, the only way this guy's going to survive the campaign trail is if they do not let him speak at all. And health-wise, buddy, I'm not sure he's going to make it there.
Oh, we all know he's going to be a less than one-term president. We all know that.
Oh, absolutely.
They're either one of two things is going to happen. Okay, either Biden, 2 years in or so, is going to resign because of medical issues or whatever, or the cabinet is going to declare him incompetent using the 25th Amendment.
2 weeks in.
Do what?
You said 2 years in. I think you meant to say 2 weeks in.
2 weeks. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if Joe Biden seems to be much too hard-headed, to go with only 2 weeks. I think he'll be there, maybe 2 years after the first Congress is elected.
In the first place, it won't matter if Joe Biden gets in at all. The damage is just automatic.
Oh yeah,
because that means that actually, who runs the country at that point?
Whoever's vice president's going to be.
Even maybe not the vice president. I can see the vice president getting run roughshod by the Speaker of the House.
Really? You think Pelosi would run over whoever's the vice president?
Absolutely.
What if the vice president's Michelle Obama?
Then she would tell Michelle what to say.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know about that. I think Michelle, Michelle tended, seemed to have Obama's, things in her purse, so to speak.
Yes. And speaking of that, if Michelle Obama did transcend to the highest office in the land, which he would if it was under Joe Biden, then the Obama family will have all of the firsts. It'll be the first black president, the first black transgender president. And I mean, just all of it. Joan Rivers, that statement to the news.
Yeah.
As she was walking up the steps to the hospital, she said, "Come on, everybody knows that Mike's a tranny," and walked on up the steps, and then died from a simple procedure. Apparently, they got the oxygen and the liquid plumber confused or something, and killed Joan while she was on the table.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh!
You have to admit, the one thing you know about Joan Rivers is you're not going to shut her up.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
she's got a mouth bigger than Pelosi.
Well,
but
she did.
Getting back to Biden, Al Sharpton was in the news, and he was talking on CNN because that's the only network that would have Al Sharpton.
Indeed.
But I'm not going to play his clip just yet because it's 2 minutes long, so I'll save it for the next segment. But actually is on MSNBC, He was talking like, and here's his quote. I watched the interview that he did with Charlemagne the God. First of all, Charlemagne the God is respected as one can be in the black community and in general. There's no way he's pressing someone in an interview on behalf of Donald Trump. First of all, why bring up Donald Trump? I understand everything has to go back to Donald Trump, but what's the point?
That's true. That's true. And I'm sure that Al's handlers were furious that he gave Donald Trump any airtime.
Oh, I know. But going on further, he says, so I think that his being something other than black is as ludicrous as saying that I'm going to be in the Rockettes when Radio City opens up again. First of all, that was a great line. First of all,
absolutely.
I can see Al Sharpton as a Rockette, can't you?
But absolutely. But do you see how quiet Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton have been? The market on race baiters is just really depressed right now.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I was ranting about in the first segment. Why do we need to be a black America, a white America, a Hispanic America, a pink with purple polka dotted America, a blue with white stripes America? Why do we need to be that? Why can't we just be America?
There's a small yet incredibly vocal segment of the country who makes their money by perpetrating this lie.
Which would be Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson.
In the street.
Yeah. Which is absolutely asinine. I can't wait until everyone who was involved in the whole civil rights thing, shuts up. Because
yes, we
need to get out of that era and start thinking about this as America is one, not as all these little bitty segments of America.
That's what makes us stronger.
Exactly. So that's going to wrap up.
Shane, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, well, good. You want to hang on for the next segment?
I can.
All right. Cool. So we'll join up with Bill in the next segment. We'll be back in a few minutes, so stick around to Weekend Logic.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free, and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Art Coons, the owner of A&C Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to A&C Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. A&C Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got two more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas. And our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And welcome back to Weekend Logic. I'm your host, the Professor Shane Curington. And I have Bill Huffman on the phone with me. Stream us live at logicnation.us. We're on social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, and Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. And if you're listening to us, you can call in 866-895-6442 and join in the conversation. All right, back to Bill. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, my friend. Good morning. It's a beautiful southern central Texas day.
Yeah, I know. Memorial Day isn't looking too good for the weather, at least. It's going to start raining later on this evening and then into Sunday and all day Monday. And actually, when I was looking at the weather app on my phone, it looked like it was going to rain all week long. So I'm not too enthused about the weather coming up. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing is that it looked like we were going to be drowning this next week. And living here, I know we're not supposed to cuss the rain. I get that. I know this is an agricultural area. The farmers need it. I understand all about that. But I am old, fat, lazy, and selfish, and I do like sunny days when I can hang out in my backyard and swim in the pool.
Well, let me pose this to you: what good is it to the farmers if they're having to dispose of a lot of their crops now because of
Isn't that absolutely criminal?
They're having to put pigs down, they're having to slaughter cows, and and dispose of the meat. And I mean, they're having to do a lot of stuff because, we haven't been able to open, for business. And grocery stores and distribution hasn't been what it was.
Indeed. I hope everybody's enjoying this free 30-day test drive of socialism.
Yeah.
Find out what it's like to stand in line for toilet paper, stand in line to go to the store, hope that there's bread on the shelves. Oh, and then get ready to pay $20 a pound for hamburger or $10 for a loaf of bread or $6 for a gallon of milk. Because if you mess with the free market system, this is what happens. The people that say that socialism is the answer, it's just never been done right, are either deluded or they are liars.
Yeah, they're absolutely insane because socialism has not worked anywhere it's been tried. Whether it's been socialist under, a democratic society or socialism under a communist society, it hasn't worked anywhere.
Wherever capitalism is introduced, it ends up saving the country. Look at the United States of America. Russia has started allowing some capitalism in it. So has South Korea.
Yep.
And it's making the difference. Venezuela, 10, 15 years ago, was the fourth richest country in the world.
Yep.
There's plenty of money there for everyone. There's plenty of jobs for capitalism to thrive. And if the government had not just started taking all of it, because that's exactly what's happened, then the people would be doing wonderful. It's amazing to think that one guy can hoard so much money that people starve. It's just amazing to me.
Well, when you have total power and you control the military, guess what? You can do that. Unfortunately. But, in over in China, everyone says, look at China as a beacon for, communism and things like that. They're not, if they weren't stealing intellectual property and technology from us, they would be nothing.
No, absolutely not.
The only reason they're anything is because business over here uses their country to manufacture stuff because they pay people slave wages.
Exactly.
That's the only reason. And no one should fault businesses for being good, for people, outsourcing to China because they're being good business people.
Right.
Right? So
on one level they are, but on another level they're not, Shane, because I get my jets built in China because I can get it at slave labor, and strangely enough, right across the street a factory goes up and the People's Republic starts making the identical jet. I don't know how they got all that intellectual property, but strangely they did.
Yeah, because they got it from the manufacturing over in China. So all they did was they built a new factory over here, building the same thing with the technology they stole from us in the first place.
Right.
Because over in China, I want everyone to understand this. Over in China, if you have a business over in China, automatically the Chinese government owns a piece of it.
Right.
Automatically. You have no say in it.
And if they feel like you mismanage it, they just take it away from you.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're not doing what they want you to do, they'll just take it away from you.
But see, our laziness and our complacency could end up killing us, Shane.
That's right.
Our computer chips that we use in all of our defense vehicles, all of our aircraft, all of our tanks, all of our communication stuff is made in China.
Oh,
and you'd be a damn fool to think that they hadn't backdoored the stuff.
Oh, I know. I wonder what would happen. Have you ever thought, what would happen to China if we literally took all the manufacturing out of China and brought it back to the U.S.? And I'm not talking about just.
They'd have to do.
I'm not talking about just parts of the economy either. I'm talking about the whole shebang.
No, we would have put them into a situation where they would literally be fighting for their lives, and I believe they would attack us, perhaps biologically again.
You think so?
I think so. I think they'd have to. It's just like the way we pushed the Germans into World War II, which is an ugly story.
Yeah.
But I think there's truth to it.
Well, I think, it would be, I'm not going to say interesting because they don't need to attack us or anything, but I'm just thinking to myself, if we brought all the pharmaceutical manufacturing, all the PC chips, all the chipsets and all that stuff back, the motherboard building, and, we brought all the technology back home, where would China be? Yeah, they'd still have the same technology they do today, but would they be able to innovate as we do?
True. That would be the question. Could they compete with us 1-to-1?
Yeah.
On a fair play? And yeah. I don't know.
And I don't think they can. I don't think they could.
But you understand why that's not going to happen.
Oh, I know.
Because we have crackheads running the pharmacy, and the pharmacy never gets audited.
Yeah.
So the House of the House that makes all of the financial decisions, that controls our purse strings, they're all bought and paid for by the Chinese.
Yeah.
So there's no way that they're going to go against their master's orders.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but speaking about the economy, did you hear what Whitmer did yesterday?
No.
Governor Whitmer?
No.
All right, so Governor Whitmer extended Michigan's stay-at-home order until June 12th.
Dear God.
So Michigan is under a stay-at-home order for another, 3 weeks?
And know, when you're under a stay-at-home order, you cannot circulate a petition to remove the governor.
Yeah, you can't.
Because you have to stay at home.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And the legislature in Michigan isn't going to remove her.
Yeah. So if you'd like to remove the governor, all you need to do is send her a letter and tell her that she should remove, and she'll think about it, and then she'll do what's best for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she extended it on Friday. This is the fifth extension of the mandate. So how do you think Michigan's economy is doing right now?
Well, how has Michigan's economy been doing since they killed Detroit?
Well, it's worse than that. The Michigan economy is in the toilet. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. The Michigan economy is now. Here's her quote, though. If we open too soon, thousands more could die, and our hospitals will get overwhelmed. While we finally have more productive equipment like masks, we can't run the risk of running low again. We owe it to the real heroes on the front lines of this crisis. First responders, healthcare workers, and critical workers putting their lives on the line every day to do what we can ourselves to stop the spread of the virus. So that's Whitmer's quote. We'll be back to discuss that in detail with some other stories, and we'll go back to Al Sharpton in just a minute. So stick around to Weekend Logic.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad and names and numbers.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop, family owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, QuickWrenchAutomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Oh,
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it going to be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way. Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
And welcome back to Weekend Logic. I'm your host, the Professor Shane Curington. Listen to us live at logicnation.us, on social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, and Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. If you want to join in the conversation with me, you can call 866-895-6442. I'll be happy to talk with you and chat about what's going on in the world of politics and what's going on this week and what to look forward to next week. So as we get back to it, here's Biden putting his foot in his mouth again.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
All right. He says if you have to figure out if you're for me or Trump, you're not black. That's what Biden is saying. So here is Al Sharpton on MSNBC. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I watched the interview that he did with Charlemagne the God. And first of all, Charlemagne the God is as respected as one can be in the black community and in general. There's no way he's pressing someone in an interview on behalf of Donald Trump. He presses everybody in interviews. And ironically, the questions he was raising about Vice President Biden, I raised and others have raised in interviews. He presses me when I go on the show, and we're friends, and he speaks at our conventions and all. He is one that wants answers. So I think that his being something other than black is as ludicrous as saying that I'm going to be in the Rockettes when Radio City opens up again. I can dance, but I can't can't do the Rockettes. But the other point is, I think that whether it was said in jest by the vice president or not, I think Simone Sanders, who's also unquestionably black, said the vice president just said in jest that if you have to decide between Trump and I, you're not black. Whether you say it in jest or not, no one should qualify who's going to be black or anything else. I think that is inappropriate, and I think that clearly the vice president ought to deal with his record. Yes, many of us question the crime bill. In fact, I marched on it then. But 8 years this man was vice president and did things that he can concretely point to, including helping President Obama reduce the federal population of inmates by 38,000. He was there. I sat next to him when they announced the whole thing around policing task force. He has a concrete record to run against a man whose own aide, Omarosa Manigault, was the spokesperson to the black community for Donald Trump and was in the White House with him. She calls him a racist. So deal with the record and don't say things in jest that's inappropriate. And people can be black and still make wrong political decisions, but Charlemagne the God is not one of them.
Wow. So there you go, Al Sharpton. That was a 2-minute rant from Al Sharpton to basically say, yeah, Biden's comments was inappropriate, but Trump's a racist. That's what took 2 minutes. So I don't know where Al Sharpton gets off calling Trump a racist. Trump has overseen the economy explode for the betterment of everybody, including record unemployment for the black individuals, for Hispanics, even for everybody, basically. I don't understand where he gets off calling Trump a racist. I don't, because Trump is presiding over an economy that's doing well for everybody. And the idea that Trump is a racist is ludicrous in and of itself. But Biden's excuse of just being cavalier, I shouldn't have been a wise guy, and Al Sharpton saying, well, it was just in jest. I don't care. We should not be segmenting America like this. And I'm sorry, Al Sharpton needs to shut up and go away. Same with Jesse Jackson. They all need to shut up and go away. This is not a black America. This is not a white America. This is not a Hispanic America. This is not an Asian America. This is America. The land of the free, the home of the brave. If you want to be a part of this, you can come here legally through the proper channels, become a citizen, and we will welcome you with open arms. But if you're going to come here illegally, we don't want you here. Go back where you came from. If you're illegal, that's the key. But if you want to be here, we will be happy to welcome you with open arms as long as you're willing to come here legally. All right, but we shouldn't be segmenting America. And in my opinion, okay, and this is just my opinion as your host, is that on those little federal forms and state forms where it asks for your demographic information, where you're male, female, what's your race, what's your ethnicity, all that stuff, we shouldn't have to put that. They shouldn't even ask it, okay? If we want to actually become a colorblind society, okay? If we want to actually be a colorblind society, then the government has to lead the way by not even asking those questions. Okay? Because if we're actually doing if we're actually employing people on a capitalist system, we are employing the best candidates, not the candidates that the government tells us we have to have based on race or ethnicity or whatever the case may be. I don't care if you're the first Hispanic American on the Supreme Court. I don't care if you're the first black president. If you're qualified for the job, great. If you're not qualified for the job, you shouldn't be there. I.e., I don't think Obama should have been president. I think Obama was the first black president just because he was a black man who was running for president. Okay? Because his credentials leading up to that point were absolutely nothing. He was a state organizer. He was a state senator. He was a national senator for 1 year. His credentials, he had no experience leading up to his being in the White House. And the economy suffered because of it. Okay? Everything suffered because of it. Obama's the one who, increased the fracture of the segmentation of America. In my eyes, we should not be a segmented America. We should be one America under God. And that's how it needs to stand. One America, where all the citizens love each other. Okay, now, most liberals and whatnot, they'll want to include illegal immigrants and everybody in that. But if you're not here legally, there again, you shouldn't be here. If you're here legally, we welcome you with open arms. If you're going through the proper channels, we will welcome you with open arms. But we should be one segment. We should be American citizens. And that's it. So the NAACP pushed back on Biden's claim that it endorsed Biden. So Biden declared on Friday that the NAACP has endorsed him. However, the NAACP on Friday stated yesterday, former Vice President Joe Biden made a comment about the NAACP's endorsement. The statement by Derek Johnson, President and CEO of the NAACP, said, "We want to clarify that the NAACP is not a partisan organization," yeah, right, "and does not endorse candidates for political office at any level." Nonpartisan, yeah, right. I'll believe that when I see it. But, if they don't endorse any candidates, they have a funny way of showing it. All right, that's going to wrap up this hour of Weekend Logic. We will see you on the other side of the top of the hour after these messages, so stick around.
Sweet strawberry icing. You were strolling along in Goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh, my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council. Sweet strawberry icing. You were strolling along in Goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh, my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Classic rock all day and all night on ClassicRockRadioHD.com.
We are stars, we are and we got to get ourselves back to the garden. Well, can I wrong beside you? I have come to lose my smile, and I feel myself something turning, and maybe it's the time of year. Yes, and maybe it's the time of man, and I don't know. I am the night is burning. We are stars, we are
spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And welcome back to Weekend Logic. I'm your host, the Professor Shane Curington. So you can stream us live at logicnation.us. Find us on social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. All right, let's see, what do we got going on today? Oh, yeah, 866-895-6442 is the number to call if you want to get in on the conversation with me. There's a lot going on, but this hour I wanted to focus on where are we going. Okay, so we talked about the big thing that happened this week, Biden putting his foot in his mouth. All right, but let's talk about where we're going. Okay, so of course the coronavirus has crippled our economy. A lot of state governors are, especially liberal Democratic state governors, blue state governors, are holding on to power, like Governor Whitmer in Michigan. Okay, they're all, they have this power grab, like they don't want to let go. They don't want to let the free market come back alive. And I think that's because they do not want to, they don't want to admit that Trump's right. That the best, the best way to go is the capitalist market-based system. They don't want to admit that liberal policies are not good for the economy. They don't want to admit that what they are doing and what their beliefs are, the cradle to the grave type of providing for every citizen works. Because guess what? It doesn't. There's never enough money that can go around. But they don't want to admit that. So Governor Whitmer put in her stay-at-home order again. Now, this is the 5th extension of her stay-at-home order, and it goes until the 12th of June. And I would be willing to bet money that she'll extend it again once the 12th comes. I will be willing to bet money that she will extend it for a 6th time, and she will keep extending and extending and extending and extending until next fall rolls around, until voting rolls around. And speaking of voting, a lot of these Democrat governors are wanting to push the vote by mail. Okay, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is being sued over this. But Illinois, all right, now Illinois is the latest one where the lawmakers approved vote by mail expansion for a November election. Now, Illinois is a blue state. Okay? Usually in the conservative mindset, we want those voting to be citizens of this country. Well, if we're doing mail, vote by mail, how can you prove that you're a citizen of this country? Because there are people who vote illegally. All right? There are people who vote illegally because they're not citizens and they have no business voting in national elections, but yet they do it anyway. All right? Vote by mail is just another mechanism that liberals like because, then you can't verify citizenship or anything like that. Now, their argument is that, well, there's some people who can't get to the polling places. Okay, I could see that argument, but surely there's another way to do it. Surely there's another way of doing, having someone go out and get them and bring them into a polling place or something like that. I mean, I think their argument is very futile in that the amount of people that are disenfranchised by having to prove their citizenship by either a driver's license or being able to go to a polling location or something along those lines. I think their argument is very futile. I think the population that would be disenfranchised is very minimal at best. But that's what they want to do. So State Senator Julie Morrison, all right, let's see. State Senator Julie Morrison, the Northern Illinois Democrat who introduced the bill, said her legislation originally proposed sending a vote-by-mail ballot to every registered voter. But because of financial constraints and integrity of that list, Democrats drew back the language to send applications only to those who applied to vote from 2018 to 2012. All right, we have a caller on the line. Caller, you there?
Hey, Shane, it's the secretary. How are you doing this morning?
How you doing?
I'm socially distancing, although I did invite you over.
Yes, we are.
I'm socially distancing.
Yeah, we are socially distanced for so our audience knows we are at least 6 feet apart.
Exactly. I've got a couple of thoughts for you on the voting by mail.
Okay.
All right. Here's the thing: divide the voters in any state into three groups. The top group, let's call that maybe your really engaged people, rabid political people, people like you and me and all the folks that you work with that are really engaged in politics. Two things about us. Number one, we're going to vote. And number two, we know who we're going to vote for.
Yeah. Now, this also applies on the left, right?
Well, nobody's going to change your mind or Matt's or anybody else's. Yeah. You guys know who you're going to vote for.
Yeah.
All right, then there's the second group of people, and they're tangentially engaged. I mean, the second group of people, they kind of know what's going on, but when they get home at night, they probably watch a streaming show on Netflix or something rather than Fox News or even CNN, and they kind of know who they're going to vote for, and most of the time they vote, and they can be influenced more than Group 1, but they still kind of know what the score is. So it's Group 3 is why the Democrats want to expand the voting base. Group 3 is people who don't know anything. They're either elderly and they don't watch the news anymore, or they're people that have just say, my vote isn't going to change anything.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for me to vote. So they don't go vote. And some of them are at a point where they don't even know who the candidates are. I mean, go out on the street corner sometime and ask who the Democrat and Republican candidates for president are going to be in 2020. There will be a group of people that don't know.
All right, so we're done with this segment. You want to stick around for the next segment?
Yeah, I got to finish the point here.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll be back in a few minutes. Stick around. 866-895-6442 is the number to call. We're streaming live on LogicNation.us. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stick around.
divorce attorney, Ed Laughlin.
Is your marriage on the rocks? Have you been wanting to get a divorce but just haven't found an attorney that you can afford? Well, your search for an affordable attorney is finally over. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and I've been helping Texans get fast, inexpensive, hassle-free divorces for 25 years. I offer reasonable fees and always allow my clients to pay out their fees in payments that they can afford. Call me today at 773-8399 or toll-free 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment to get started. The first visit is always free.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed Laughlin today at 1-800-492-2589 or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589 or online at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589. Let Ed help you with all your legal needs. You'll feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in Names and Numbers.
Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Petros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
All right, welcome back to Weekend Logic. I'm your host, the Professor Shane Curington. Stream us live at logicnation.us, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. So we have on the phone with us Lynn, who's still with us, I hope. You still there?
Yeah, I am. The point I was trying to make here is you've got the first group that's really engaged and is going to go vote. Democrats can't control them. The second group is reasonably engaged. They're probably going to vote, and Democrats can control them to some extent, but not a whole lot. It's that third group. It's people who probably don't follow any news, don't know anything, If the Democrats can expand the voting base and add these people, they can get them to vote the way they want them to vote. They'll send people over to the House and say, hey, we'll help you vote.
Yeah, but where does the vote by mail come into play?
Well, the vote by mail comes into play because it puts that ballot right in somebody's house. The person who doesn't want to go out and vote or take the time, doesn't want to stand in line, doesn't really care, but somebody knocks on the door and say, hey, I'm with the Democratic National Committee or something, or I'm a Democrat volunteer, or they may not even say that. They may just say, I'm a political volunteer. Did you get your mail vote?
Mm-hmm.
And the person says, yes, it's on the kitchen table. I haven't even opened it.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll come in and I'll help you understand what it's all about. And then they just tell them, check that button there or check that blank for Biden and send it. Here, I'll mail it for you. And that's what they do.
So what does the being able to identify a person at the poll that they are eligible to vote, does that have anything to do with it?
Well, I'm sure it does. There's nothing about mail-in voting that isn't easier to commit fraud. I mean, anytime there's all these different ways to vote. You can go vote in the polls. You can vote online. You can absentee vote. But when there's no poll watchers there, there's no volunteers there saying, let me see your driver's license. There's no poll people there at the House saying, let me check your voter registration card. And it just makes it so much easier. And in places like California, if all you have to vote is a driver's license, then illegal aliens can vote.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't be giving a driver's license to illegal aliens anyway. But here's what the Democrats up in Illinois have to say about it. The goal is to make the vote by mail more user-friendly, efficient, secure, and accessible. I don't know what to say about that because none of that's true. Absolutely none of it.
But look, the Democrats will take advantage of anything, and look at the other ways they're taking advantage of the coronavirus. This $3 trillion bill of Nancy Pelosi's, which mandated more diversity in it. Yeah, and it's the whole Democrat agenda in there. It's not designed to help anybody. It's designed to give them power.
Oh, I know. Well, here's the lunacy of the Democrats. Okay, so in the Illinois bill. Okay, now this is just the state of Illinois, you know, that vote by mail thing. They're wanting to do the vote by mail, where they send them the ballots, right? But then the people who have the ballots still have to go to a designated collection site. Isn't that funny? So instead of going to the poll to vote, you can fill out your ballot at home, but then you still have to go to a designated collection site.
Okay, and you still have to socially distance, I guess, when you get there. But you know, it's just. I mean, these people are devious, and they have got deviousness down to an absolute science. Anything that is abnormal at all at any particular time, like coronavirus is an example, 9/11 might be another example. They will sit back and figure out how to use it to their advantage, and we're seeing it play out day after day after day.
Yeah. So the one thing Republicans are concerned about, obviously, is ballot stuffing.
Well, of course.
Okay. So explain to our audience
called,
what...
actually, it's called ballot harvesting.
Okay. Well, explain to our audience what that is.
This. Yeah, it's just where they go to certain places where they believe they can control people, and they get as many ballots as they can, and they make sure they're all marked for their party that they want to win. And, I mean, I don't know that it's legal or illegal. I haven't looked into that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, in my mind, in reading the Constitution and everything, I don't think that half of these, voting techniques or whatever is constitutional in any shape, form, or fashion. Even early voting. There shouldn't be early voting. Voting should be one day of the year.
Well, I totally agree with you on that. Now, there's two exceptions to that. it's always been legitimate that if you're a businessman or you're going to go visit aunt somebody or other in Michigan, and you're legitimately going to be out of town, that you can vote. That's called absentee voting. We've had it ever since I was a kid. We've had absentee voting.
Yeah.
The other one is people serving in the military whose ballots don't always get counted anyway. Most of the time, an election is decided before the military votes even arrive in America.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I'm willing, when times are normal, I'm willing to go to the grocery store to buy my groceries. I don't have them delivered. I can certainly go to the ballot place, cast my ballot. I mean, if that seems like kind of the least anybody could do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're a citizen of this country and are a patriot and love this country, you should be willing to get out of your house, drive down to the polling place, and cast your ballot. Now, I understand, if you're physically not able to, okay, that's one thing that we would need to deal with. Okay, if you're in the military, okay, we need to deal with that too, and you're deployed. Not if you're on base, you need to go to the poll. But if you're deployed, like over to the Middle East or something, okay, yeah, we need to deal with that. But other than those two situations, you should get, if you love this country, you should get out and go to the poll and vote.
Well, and I'm sure there's laws in place in some places, but most employers will say, hey, if it's election day, go vote. I remember Meadow Oaks Baptist Church in South Temple.
Yeah.
Back when Ronald Reagan ran, I remember a line that stretched all the way around the block, and I was just as happy as I could be. I love seeing that many people out, and I knew a lot of them were going to vote for Reagan, and I was at the back of that line, and it just did not bother me one bit. It was, I felt like I was doing something for my country to stand in that line.
That's right.
And it's not a big sacrifice, Shane.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, if they do it right, that you can get through those lines pretty quickly if they do it right. But that's neither here nor there, I guess.
Hey, just real quick, you're going into the break. I just wanted to say I think you have a great show, and I hope more people are tuning in.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Lynn. We'll be back after these messages to talk about the economy. So stick around to Weekend Logic.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free, and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Art Coons, the owner of A&C Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to A&C Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. A&C Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got two more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas. And our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work.
Sorry, I'm late.
Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to Weekend Logic. I'm your host, the Professor, Shane Curington. So stream us live on LogicNation.us, social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter, and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Also, if you want to get in on the conversation with me, 866-895-6442 is the number to call. And I'll be happy to take your call and chat with you just a bit. All right, let's talk about the last 30 minutes of the show today. Let's talk about the economy. So here's what Dr. Fauci had to say on reopening.
Depending upon the dynamics of the infection in the particular state, city, region, county that you're in, we certainly want to, in a cautious way, reopening. We can't stay locked down for such a considerable period of time.
All right, notice what he says. We cannot stay locked down for a noticeable period of time. You know, we can't stay locked down indefinitely. The economy would suffer. But you know what? Some of these Democrats would enjoy that because then they would kill Trump's economy. They would then support their constituents, cradle to the grave type of mentality there. And that would just feed into their narrative of what they want. So here's Dr. Fauci continuing on.
That you might do irreparable damage and have unintended consequences, including consequences for health. And it's for that reason why the guidelines are being put forth so that the states and the cities can start to re-enter and reopen. So we are enthusiastic about reopening. And I think we can do it in a pace that would be reasonable and that would get us back as a society from a morale standpoint, as well as the economy.
Okay, so Dr. Fauci thinks that we can do this in a prudent manner so that we can come back from this virus with the economy. We can open as long as we do it properly, as long as there's not a mad dash rush. But he's basically saying we have to do this. Prolonged lockdowns aren't the way to go. And to be quite frank, the economy's not going to survive much longer. So here's the rest of his statement.
I don't want people to think that any of us feel that staying locked down for a prolonged period of time is the way to go. We had to do that when we had the explosion of cases, but now is the time, depending upon where you are and what your situation is to begin to seriously looking at reopening the economy, reopening the country to try and get back to some degree of normal. I'm totally in favor of that if done in the proper way, in the appropriate setting.
Okay, in the proper way and in the proper setting. You hear that, Governor Whitmer? In the proper way, in the proper setting. All right? What you're doing, Governor Whitmer, is not the proper way and is not the proper setting. Michigan has been kind of the epicenter of what not to do to reopen your business. Even California is starting to reopen businesses. I don't understand what Michigan's problem is. It has its numbers as far as the coronavirus do not dictate that the entire state be locked down. So I don't understand where Governor Whitmer gets off on shutting down the entire state of Michigan. And I just pulled up her, this news report. She's extending Michigan's stay-at-home order until June 12th. If we open too soon, thousands more could die, and our hospitals will get overwhelmed. While we finally have more protective equipment like masks, we can't run the risk of running low again. We owe it to the real heroes on the front lines of this crisis, our first responders, healthcare workers, and critical workers, putting their lives on the line every day to do what we can ourselves to stop the spread of the virus. The virus is not spreading. Governor Whitmer, open your state. Your economy is dying. If you want to see the reason that your state is not thriving right now, look in the mirror. The coronavirus is not spreading as bad as it was. As Dr. Fauci says, yeah, we had to do the stay-at-home orders originally because of the explosion of the virus. Well, guess what? The virus is no longer exploding. It's time to open up, Governor Whitmer. And this staying at home order until June 12th, that's another 3 weeks. You're getting into summer businesses where you're getting into some businesses, like swimming pools and whatnot, where they only make their money in June, July, and August. You're closing businesses where the summer is their main source of revenue. And if you do that, chances are they might not be able to reopen. So I think this order by Governor Whitmer is absolutely insane. Furthermore, the governor says if we're going to lower the chance of a second wave and continue to protect our neighbors and loved ones from the spread of this virus, we must continue to do our part by staying safer at home. All right, if there's going to be a second wave, and I like how President Trump is taking this, if there's a second wave, he's not going to close the economy. All right, and here's the logic behind that. If if there's a second wave, more of us should have the antibodies to be able to fight it off. So if there is a second wave, it should not be that bad. It should not hurt us as badly as the first wave, which is entirely correct. That is a sound, logical strategy. All right, but even New York is opening for business. Andrew Cuomo says recent New York coronavirus cases lowest since onset. So New York is the epicenter of this virus for how many weeks and months. Michigan doesn't even compare numbers-wise to New York. However, Governor Whitmer in Michigan is locking down her state harder than Andrew Cuomo is locking down New York. So here's Cuomo's quote. News is good today. Hospitalizations are down. Net change in hospitalizations is down. Number of new cases per day is down. This is a level now that is lower than when we first began, so that is good. So that is great. Further going on. So all your actions are based on data, he said, announcing that the Long Island and Mid-Hudson regions will be permitted to reopen if deaths continue to decrease. So even Governor Cuomo, who is a staunch Democrat and a staunch opponent of President Trump, he's even willing to open New York if the statistics keep going in that direction, which is a good thing. So Florida, the Florida and Texas should be the blueprint for how to open and how to reopen an economy. So Governor Ron DeSantis announced Friday that all restrictions on summer and youth camps in Florida are lifted effective immediately. Isn't that great? Children can now go to summer camps. Of course, safe distancing needs to apply, but our kids have been out of organized activities for a couple months now. Now, this is DeSantis talking. We need to have a pathway to get it back. The governor did say that the Florida Department of Health would likely post a list of best practices to its website and that local leadership will be allowed to make independent decisions. We believe that this makes sense. This is DeSantis talking. We believe that this makes sense based on the data and observed experience. We are not going to be instituting a lot of rules or really any rules. At the end of the day, we trust parents to be able to make decisions in conjunction with physicians. They trust parents, not the government. All right, that's going to wrap it up. We'll be back with the last segment on Logic Nation here in just a few minutes, so stick around.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad and names and numbers.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop. Family owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, quickwrenchautomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
All right, everybody in the car, let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Okay.
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it going to be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way. Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Weekend Logic. I'm your host, the Professor, Shane Curington. Stream us live at logicnation.us. 866-895-6442 is the number to call if you want to get in the conversation with me. So let's finish with our talk on the economy for this hour. And so here's, now a Michigan barber was taken to court, and here's what he had to say.
I will continue my work with or without a license. I feel I have been denied my livelihood by this governor. This is not a police state. I refuse to live in a police state. I will not stand down.
And good for him. You hear that, Governor Whitmer? This is not a police state. They want their freedom, and you are not giving it to them. So here's his further comments in an interview.
You know, I hope that there's a certain amount of sanity that will prevail. But so far, we've had nothing but trouble with her. The legislatures had told her she was not assigned this part of this position that she's taken to shut us down for another 28 days, starting May 1st. And she has defied their order. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm opening up. I have a livelihood. I have a business that I have to protect. I have clients that rely on me, and I'm gonna continue on. I'm not gonna stand down.
Good for him. You know, I think that, forget who it was. I think it was actually Governor Whitmer that called people like this not patriotic. Now, I don't know. It might have been Pelosi, too, for all I know. But, I would tell the Democrats, look, this is not This is not a good thing. Your grab for power with the guise of, keeping people safe is not cool. And you need to understand that. This is not your economy. This is not what you think is best. Okay, this is what the American people think is best. And I would implore the governors of blue states, Governor Whitmer, Governor Newsom, Governor Cuomo, listen to your constituency. They want to open up. And regardless if you think it's best or not, I'm sorry, this is a free country. Your people have a right to reopen their businesses regardless if you like it or not. As this gentleman was stating, you're overstepping your bounds. And I would, Governor Newsom over in California is already being sued. I don't think Governor Cuomo's been sued yet. I think Governor Whitmer's been sued over this. But it's time to reopen this economy. We've got to reopen this economy. So also on Friday, actually it was on Thursday, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said there is a strong likelihood that another coronavirus relief bill will be needed, but the administration will step back for a few weeks to see if more money needs to be spent, and if so, how to spend it. He added, we're going to carefully review, now this is Steve Mnuchin talking, we're going to carefully review the next few weeks. I think there is a strong likelihood we will need another bill, but we just have $3 trillion we're pumping into the economy. And we're going to step back for a few weeks and think very clearly how we need to spend more money and if we need to do that. So I would suggest to, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, you're not going to get your porculus that you wanted. All the $3 trillion with all those, Democrat, perfect, the shopping list that all the Democrat Party wants. You're not going to get that, okay? As Steve Mnuchin said, what they're going to do is step back for a few weeks and then go, okay, where do we need to spend this? Which is smart. I congratulate President Trump for doing that. Step back, let's see how the economy does opening up, and then go through another round of stimulus if we need it. Because I guarantee you we probably won't need $3 trillion like Nancy Pelosi wants. We might need something, maybe it's $1 trillion. Maybe it's only half a trillion. We don't know. But President Trump's doing this the right way by stepping back. All right, so what I would like to do to close out Logic Weekend this week, it's Memorial Day, which means we take some time to reflect and think about our fallen heroes. Not the ones that are still alive, but the ones who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. So I would like to end, this last segment on Weekend Logic with Ray Charles and his rendition of America the Beautiful as a way to remember the fallen soldiers.
Heroes proved in liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, make God thy gold refine, till all success be to sing it something like this. Listen here. Oh, beautiful, far spacious skies, far amber waves of grain, far purple mountain majesties. Over the fruited plain. But now wait a minute. I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned my good. Yes, he did. Heavy brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know, I wish I had somebody to help me sing this. America, I love you, America. You see, my God, he done shed his face on thee. You ought to love him for it, because he crowned my good. He told me he would. Every brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, Lord. I thank you, Lord.
Amen. God shed his grace on thee. That's a beautiful rendition of America the Beautiful by Ray Charles. So I hope that, and I pray that all of our fallen soldiers have found their final resting place and they're resting comfortably because they paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country. And we need to take a few minutes this weekend and, in our hearts and minds, say thank you. All right, we'll see you next week right here on Weekend Logic. See you then.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by